Welcome to the latest live edition of Last Bell Boxing, joined by the legend that is Rick Glaser. Rick, how are you?
I'm doing fine. A belated Happy New Year to everybody, all your viewers, listeners, subscribers, and here we are. Wasn't on all last year. It has been since 2021, and I look forward to all you guys' great questions that I haven't heard in over a year. So there you go.
It's been a while, mate. So we're going to make up for it. Don't worry. We're armed and ready.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, we'll start off with a couple of questions that we'll talk about a bit of last year, and then we'll go on to what we're expecting from 2023, if that's okay with you.
That's great.
There was some great fights last year. A couple of simple questions, really. These are coming from our viewers. If you could pick one fight, what would be your fight of 2022?
Oh, it's with no question about Lee Wood and Mick Conlan. I mean, incredible fight, an incredible ending, an incredible knockout, an incredible everything. I mean, it was by far the fight of the year. The knockout of the year really was Tyson Fury and Dillian White, and it was the heavyweight championship of the world.
Yeah,
it was 95,000 people and a dramatic one punch ending where he just laid there. So that was the knockout of the year. But the overall fight of the year, no question, was Lee Wood and Mick Conlan. I mean, that was like that fight takes your breath away. That's why we all watch the fights. We're looking for fights like that, and it's a funny thing, So when those kind of fights happen on regular TV, that was on an app, but on regular TV like ESPN over here, you'll get a guy calls up and says, "Oh my God, what a great fight! Incredible! I got to watch boxing more often." I said that's a once a year type of fight. I mean, you're not going to get that type of action every week, but you don't have that problem. You don't have that description when it's on an app because it's only the diehards that are watching it, so they get it. But when it's on like a regular ESPN, you get those kind of things. Oh, I got to watch. Oh my God, what a fight! Incredible! I'm looking at all those great fights I've missed. You didn't miss too much. So
did you
tip
Lee Wood to win going in, Rick? Be honest, did you tip him to win going into the fight?
You know what? I only saw him one time for a few minutes. I didn't know enough about him. I really didn't know anything really that much about him. I hadn't really seen him a lot. He looked good the times I saw him. I wanted Mick Conlan to win because I've met him, and what's that? Well,
Lee Wood's Nottingham. Lee Wood's from Nottingham, obviously. We're from Nottingham.
No. I'm not saying I didn't like Lee Wood, but I've met Mick Conlan and stuff like that, and I've talked to his brother and stuff like that. So I sort of wanted him to win, but listen, nobody disgraced themselves.
No.
If you can get knocked out of a ring and not disgrace yourself, get knocked out of a ring and end the fight on your back. It couldn't have been better for the guy because it's like he just moved on with his career and now he's going forward again. And he went out on his shield. What are you going to say?
The fight had everything, didn't it, from start to finish? If you wrote it as a story, I don't think the Rocky films had better fight stories than that.
The what? I'm sorry.
I don't think the Rocky films had better fight stories.
No. It was It was what boxing's all about. I mean, you dream about fights like this happening. Certain fights, as a boxing guy that I am, fight guy that I am, and a professional, as soon as you hear a fight, it's going to be great, and you can't wait to see it. That was one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, and you just can't wait. You just get excited, and sometimes you go into a fight with an opinion, and then all of a sudden a real fight breaks out, and it's a great fight, and you didn't think it was going to be. That happens too. That's exciting too. But this is something that you just thought about for months waiting up to the fight. And I didn't even know that much about Lee Wood. The fight I was excited about was that Joe Cardina and the fellow from Japan. And that was a second round knockout with one punch, and I was excited about that. And that ended up, and that was a sensational knockout in itself. So
It was.
things, this is all why we fight the fights.
While we're talking about that fight, Rick, how disappointed are you that Joe Cordina, he wins that fight dramatically, he then gets an injury that stops him defending straight away, and he gets stripped straight away? How disappointing is it that?
I did not have a financial interest in that or the division, so it's not disappointing to me as far as my opinion, but I can see where any backers, fans of Joe Cardino would be disappointed and upset, maybe outright pissed off. But that's boxing. You're not ready to defend your title. You're supposed to defend your title, and you don't.
It does seem to be, Rick, it matters where you come from, though, because other governing bodies let people keep holding belts for as long as Jesus has had. It'll happen more if you come from a third world country where there's not a lot. Let me explain. Where there's not a lot of TV revenues for a fighter, and they're not making much sanction fee, and then they can have a really good fighter who will bring TV money to the table, which raises the sanction fees that the organization would get. So then it would happen more often that way. But this wasn't the case. That wasn't the case here, because obviously Cardino had the backing of the Zone and the big crowds in England. So that wasn't the issue here. So you don't mind it jumping around topics, do you, Rick? You don't mind it jumping about, because I know a man with your knowledge doesn't matter.
No, I don't. Listen, you can jump all over you want.
Okay, let me bring another one up here. What's this rubbish about Jared? What's this rubbish about Jared Anderson jumping in with Wilder?
With what was that? I'm sorry.
You mentioned on Twitter that you think Jared Anderson should jump in with Deontay Wilder.
No, I didn't.
No? Oh, I thought I read that.
That must have been a fake. That must have been one of the fake Rick Glaser accounts.
I apologise, because obviously you can understand why I'm raising my eyebrows at that one, because it wouldn't be a great call, would it?
No. He's not ready. He may never be ready. He may never be ready for it. That's got to be one of the fake accounts, because I
know you've had trouble with fake accounts, Rick. So
I'm very high on Fury as a great, as an era great, and fitting in the top 12 of the all-time greats. So that didn't come from me, and I know how to develop I know how to develop a fighter. So believe me, that didn't come from me. That's more craziness from that. That's why I'm suspended from Twitter right now, because I complained about the fake accounts.
Right. Okay. And, it's not great, is it? Because you don't quite know what you're reading, Rick, do you? With all due respect.
No, and he's got the fake accounts looking like me. He's using my likeness, all my wording in the bio, and then furthermore, he's not only that is he took the I's, the capital. What did he do? The capital L in Glaser. And he used a capital I, so it looks alike, and it's a fake account. And people are going for it. I'm getting phone calls. I'm getting yelled at by people. What did you say about my fighter, you motherfucker? Yeah. You're mad at me. It was the fake account. So believe me when I tell you guys, I know how to develop a fighter, and I'm huge on Fury, and I'm big on Jared Anderson. But Jared Anderson may never be ready for Tyson Fury. He may be, So, but I didn't say it. So there you go.
No problem.
Jared Anderson's 22, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's got, as far as a heavyweight, he's got the best part of 15 years left on him as a fighter.
Correct. And that's why he should be moved slow and shouldn't be jumping in with Tyson Fury.
Do you think, obviously from a British point of view, we know very little of Jared Anderson, to be honest. We don't see his fights over here. We only get.
Well, how come that? How come Aaron's got a Sky TV deal for shows?
Yeah, but Anderson's not been on.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I know. With the surprise,
you think they'd want to open the UK market up to him with so many young heavyweights in the UK, wouldn't you? And the fight fans, you think they'd want
I
to
don't
give
understand that because
they have a Top Rank has a UK deal with Sky
Correct.
TV.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that's puzzling.
I mean, I can see where you're coming from. There's a lot of expectation. Other than Deontay Wilder, it's been a long while since you've had a top end heavyweight champion, and that at one point,
I would call technically Deontay Wilder a champion, yes, but I wouldn't call him a top end champion. No.
I agree. I've got to be honest.
I don't agree.
Carl, you're
No,
allowed to disagree.
You can't blame the guy for the era that he's in. And name me heavyweights that beat Deontay Wilder at the minute. Obviously, Fury.
First of all, Deontay Wilder hasn't beaten Fury. I don't think he would beat Joe Joyce. Is not fast, but Joe Joyce knows how to fight.
Then. So there's one, Rick.
What's that?
There's one person. I think Wilder beats Usyk.
No. Usyk's ring IQ is way too high. No, I can't see that.
Rick, don't you think he'll land on Usyk within 12 rounds? Wilder.
He may land on him, but he's not going to land on him in repetition.
It only takes one though with Wilder, doesn't it?
Yeah, but he's a top fighter in top shape. He can withstand those blows. He's a good fighter. You know,
I think Wilder gets penalised because of his boxing style. If I'm honest.
Well, yeah, because it's hard when you can't box a lick. It's hard to land those punches on guys that can that know how to box. I mean,
I agree, Rick.
There's not many around in the heavyweight division that beat him.
It's okay having that one big shot, isn't it? But you've got to get yourself into the position to.
You got to get yourself into the positions, and the only reason why he was able to knock down Fury because Fury exposed himself. When you're and Fury didn't use his brains because Usyk's not going to expose himself to those punches. Okay, he's going to move laterally. He's going to flip. He's a left-handed. He's going to flip the jab, and don't compare Usyk and Luis Ortiz. I mean, Luis Ortiz will get played with against Usyk. Right, and I just feel that those top guys, Joe Joyce, Usyk, and Fury would, Fury's already proven to beat him. He can punch, but he's so Wilder, but he's so one-dimensional, and those don't beat great fighters. I mean, in the Mike Tyson era, it did because guys were all 110 to 117, 119 pounds. Today, these guys are 6 foot, whatever, and 267 and 271 and stuff. And Usyk, even though he's not that big and size-wise, he lines up well. He's got an ingenious ring IQ, as Fury does. And he's got a great jab. He's left-handed. His footwork is sensational. He stays within himself. Now that's what Fury didn't do when Fury fought Wilder. Is he didn't stay within himself. That's why he ended up on the deck 4 times in the 3 fights because he didn't stay within himself. If you stay within yourself with a guy that's a one-dimensional puncher, you're not going to get hit with that shit. But if you open up, you're going to get hit. And I think Usyk is smart enough not to open up.
While we're talking about Wilder, I noticed you put some fights that you want to see in 2023. I know we're jumping about a little bit here.
Let's hope, little proviso. Let's hope it was Rick who actually typed this message.
Yeah.
What happened?
There's a list on Twitter.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping that this was from you. It might be from one of these dodgy accounts, but there's a list of fights that you want to see in 2023.
Yeah, well, the list of fights was on Facebook, so that's real.
You, then.
That's real.
Yeah. Good. Okay, so one of them, seems that we're talking about Wilder, was Wilder against Andy Ruiz.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see that fight playing out?
Anything can happen because we don't know what Wilder's got left after the beatdown from, you can't judge off the Hellenius fight because he never got hit. We don't know what kind of punch resistance Wilder has, but if Wilder can withstand Andy Ruiz's punches, it's going to be a great fight. And if he doesn't withstand his punches, it's still going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great fight no matter what.